Hi, I'm here to talk about the future of meat. And we're not talking about meat that is grown in a laboratory. We're talking about meat that is grown on a farm. In this video, we visit a pig sanctuary, meet an animal rights activist, and explore what a sustainable food future might look like. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so you don't miss any videos from us. Before we start, I want to address something. Some people have been commenting that our focus on innovation and technology is naive and will lead us into a dystopian future of corporate control. I don't doubt that those voices have a point, but I think they're missing the bigger picture. Technology has always shaped society. The important question isn't whether technology will change the world, it's how we direct that change. In fact, many social movements have used new technologies to further their causes. Consider the role that print media played in the Protestant Reformation, the French Revolution, and the American Revolution, or the impact that radio and television had on the civil rights movement. Now consider the role that digital technology has played in recent social justice movements. We should see technology as a tool, not an end in itself. Now let's get back to the show. Meat production is one of the most resource-intensive aspects of modern agriculture. It takes a lot of energy, water, and food to produce a kilogram of meat. And the amount of waste generated by the global meat industry is staggering. It's clear that if we want to sustainably feed billions of people, we will need to reduce our consumption of meat and dairy, but this is easier said than done. Millions of people around the world depend on meat for their livelihoods, and many cultures have diets that are centered around meat. What's more, there is no consensus on how much meat is safe to eat. Some say any amount is too much. Others argue that moderate meat consumption can be part of a sustainable diet. So what if we could find a way to produce meat without raising animals? That may sound like science fiction, but it's closer to reality than you might think. Companies are now working on ways to produce meat directly from animal cells. This process, also known as cultured or cultivated meat, has captured the imagination of scientists, entrepreneurs, and consumers alike. But will it really help feed the world? Or is it just another example of rich people finding new ways to indulge themselves? Join us as we take a deep dive into the world of lab-grown meat and ask some tough questions along the way. We begin our journey at a place called The Haven, an animal sanctuary in the town of Winters, California. Here we meet Lizzie, a 2-year-old pot-bellied pig who weighs 300 pounds. Lizzie lives with 26 other pigs at the sanctuary and spends her days rooting around in the mud and swimming in the pond. Pigs are highly intelligent animals and can develop complex emotions, including love and affection towards their caregivers. They are also social creatures and live in groups in the wild. At the sanctuary, the pigs are allowed to roam freely and express their natural behaviors. They also receive regular veterinary care and are fed a healthy diet of organic vegetables and grains. But why are we talking about a pig sanctuary in a video about the future of meat? Well, as we move towards a more sustainable food system, the role of animals in our diets will become increasingly controversial. Some people believe that animals should never be raised for slaughter, while others argue that well-managed animal agriculture can be both sustainable and humane. By showcasing the pigs at the Haven, we hope to demonstrate the importance of treating animals with respect, regardless of our views on the future of meat. Our next stop is a company called Culture Biosciences. Located in South San Francisco, Culture Bio is a biotechnology company that operates bioreactors for growing proteins and engineered microbes. The company uses a process called cell culture to create a variety of products, including meat, milk, and eggs. But unlike traditional animal agriculture, cell culture does not require any animals at all. Instead, cells are multiplied in a laboratory setting, allowing for the production of meat without the need to raise and slaughter animals. At first, cell culture was seen as a way to produce meat for wealthy consumers. However, as the technology has advanced, it has become clear that cell culture can be used to produce meat in a more sustainable and efficient way. Cell culture allows farmers to produce meats without the need for antibiotics or hormones, resulting in a healthier product for consumers. Additionally, cell culture can significantly reduce the amount of land and water used for agriculture, making it an attractive option for farmers looking to reduce their environmental impact. To better understand the potential of cell culture, we spoke with 3 experts. First, we spoke with a representative from the Good Food Institute, an organization that promotes the development and commercialization of cultured meat. According to them, cultured meat is produced by taking a small sample of cells from an animal, then placing those cells into a nutrient-rich environment where they can multiply. This process is done outside the body of the animal, meaning that no animals are harmed in the production of cultured meat. The cells are grown in a controlled environment, allowing farmers to ensure that the meat is free from contaminants such as hormones and antibiotics. Additionally, cultured meat can be produced in a variety of shapes and sizes, giving consumers more options when it comes to the meat they purchase. Finally, cultured meat has the potential to be more sustainable than traditional animal agriculture. By eliminating the need for land, water, and feed, farmers can reduce their environmental impact and produce meat in a more efficient way. Next, we spoke with Dr. Bruce Friedrich, co-founder of the Good Food Institute. He told us that the main advantage of lab-grown meat is that it does not require the slaughter of any animals. The process begins by taking a small biopsy from an animal, typically a cow or chicken, which is then placed in a nutrient-rich environment. This allows the cells to grow and multiply, eventually forming muscle tissue. Lab-grown meat can be produced in a variety of shapes and sizes, giving consumers more options when it comes to the meat they purchase. It can also be tailored to have specific nutritional profiles, making it a healthier option for consumers. Additionally, lab-grown meat is produced in a controlled environment, meaning that it is free from contaminants such as hormones and antibiotics. Finally, we spoke with a representative from a company that specializes in growing chicken meat in the lab. According to them, the process begins by taking a small sample of cells from a chicken, which is then placed in a nutrient-rich environment. The cells are then allowed to grow and multiply, eventually forming muscle tissue. The entire process is done in a sterile environment to ensure the safety and quality of the meat. The company is working to make lab-grown meat more accessible to consumers by developing cost-effective production methods. Some critics argue that lab-grown meat is not a viable option because it is too expensive to produce. However, as technology advances, the cost of production is expected to decrease, making it a more attractive option for consumers. Others argue that lab-grown meat is unnatural and should not be consumed. However, as the demand for meat continues to grow, lab-grown meat may be the only way to meet that demand in a sustainable way. The future of meat is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the way we produce and consume meat will need to change in order to meet the demands of a growing population. Lab-grown meat may be one of the solutions to this problem, but it is not the only one. As technology advances, we may find other ways to produce meat in a more sustainable and efficient way. Ultimately, the future of meat will be determined by the decisions we make today. What do you think? Is lab-grown meat the future of meat, or is it just another example of rich people finding new ways to indulge themselves? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave us a tip.